So the last couple of days we've had nothing but torrential rain, and that's led me to have a look at the gutters on our house because I've noticed a few of these joints are dripping. So today on Fix It with Fowler, I'm going to show you how to fix this permanently. So guttering performs quite a few important jobs, and the main thing, it obviously takes the rainwater away from the roof, away from your property. Now if you leave these gutterings leaking, then that can create all sorts of problems, including damp, dry rot, and telltale signs of this will be moss or a build-up of algae on bricks lower down in your house. So there's a few reasons why these gutterings can leak, and the first thing is these gutterings can move. So if there's a long length of guttering, what you find is in the summer the gutterings will expand and in the winter they'll contract. And on these joints you can see that there's some marks. Now these marks are for where the guttering is supposed to butt up to, and that allows enough of an overlap in the joint so that you don't get a leak. So the other thing inside these guttering joints is you have this rubber seal, and the rubber seal is what forms the watertight seal between the guttering and the actual joint. Now over time these can become perished, and like I said before, with the movement of the guttering, with that friction, they tend to either compress or wear out. So another option is to replace these. So the first thing to see on your joint, like I said, is to check whether the guttering is actually up to the stop point, and in this case it's not. So what you can do is you can try and force the guttering along. If it's a long length, you might have to undo a couple of the brackets, and they're just like a spring clip, so you can loosen them off, slide the guttering up, do the clips back up, run some water in down the guttering, and check to see if that's cured the problem. However, if it's not, then what you're really looking at is either replacing the actual joint itself or replacing the rubber inserts. So how on earth are you going to know what type of guttering you've got? So if you look on the guttering, normally you'll find somewhere there's a stamp which tells you the make. This particular guttering is Flowplast guttering, and it's really easy to get hold of, so you can either replace the joint or replace the seal. So the next thing you need to do is remove the actual joint itself. Whether you're going to replace the joint or the rubbers, the joint itself's got to come off. Now we've got these clips here, and when it's cold weather like today, they can become brittle. If you've got a new joint, it doesn't matter if you break them, so just take your time in releasing them. And if you just pull the joint round, you can see already that's coming off. You can do the same to the other side, and then the ones at the back, and that's the joint off. Now if you look inside, you can actually see that the rubber is all deformed and compressed, apart from the fact it's dirty, and that's going to be why you've got the leak on this joint. So once you've got the joint off, the next thing is to look at the actual outer edge of the guttering and just give it a quick wipe. Make sure you've not got any big bits of debris on there, because that will hamper the sealing of the new joint. So once you're happy with that and you've got it cleanish, you then need to get your new joint. Now you can see the marks clearer now, and that's where the guttering needs to come up to, and that ensures that we're not going to get a leak. Now as you can see, these rubber seals actually are not secured at all, so when you come to slide the new guttering in, there's a big chance that they'll move. However, we've got a good tip for that, and what you're going to need is some petroleum jelly or Vaseline, and you can line the joint with that, put some on your guttering, and that'll allow it to slide on, and it will keep these rubber seals in the right place. So the first thing to do is to remove these clips. Now they are quite tight, and if you leave it on at the back, because the guttering is quite tight up, it might be quite difficult to actually refit. So I'm going to take the other side off ready, put that to one side, and then the next thing is to line these with the petroleum jelly stroke Vaseline. Okay, so once you've prepped the joints and put some petroleum jelly on it, then the next thing in this case, because it's quite a tight fit, I'm going to slide that clip up the back, which then allow me to slide the guttering up into place and then fit these clips over the top. Okay, so once you've got the back bracket in, you can then press the front up, make sure the guttering's up to the right joint, and then we can just repeat the process on this end. So as you can see, these actual clips are quite tight to get on, and like I said before, in cold weather they can be quite difficult and become brittle. One thing to note though, if your new joint is not the same manufacturer as your existing guttering, sometimes these profiles can be slightly out, and these guttering clips can be very difficult to get over the edge of this guttering. What you can actually do is make a small mark and take out a few millimeters of this outer edge of guttering. That way, when you come to put them in, that fit will be a lot easier and there'll be a lot less stress on the guttering. So the final step is obviously to test the guttering. It's like the moment of truth. So I've just got a watering can. You can use a hose pipe. Put some water down the guttering and check the joint, and hopefully, wow! So that's the guttering all repaired. We've tested it, there's no leaks, so I'm really happy with that. Now that particular joint cost around £3. You can get kits which just have the actual rubber seals in. If you're struggling to get the same manufacturers of guttering, it's easier just to get replacement seals. There's nothing wrong with the actual fittings, it's just the seals that go. So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget, give the video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and the most important thing, please subscribe to my channel.